Welcome to the C&SI Monitoring Academy and thank you for watching this video. My name is Mark Leftwich and I am the Level 2 Team Lead for Monitoring. After watching this video, you will be able to set traces on the TEPS component, you will know how to increase the log file sizes for the TEPS, and I'll also show you how to verify the trace is working once you've put it in place. The Academy's aim is simple, it's to pass on our daily hands-on knowledge of the products direct to you. I hope you find this video useful. If you do, please click the thumbs up. Today I'm going to show you how to set traces on the TEPS. There is two ways of doing this. One is through the GUI interface and the other one is through editing a text environment file. I'll show you both so you can pick whichever one suits your preference. First thing we're going to do is open the GUI. So we'll do Start, All Programs, IBM Tivoli Monitoring, Manage Tivoli Monitoring Services. That's all default on the product unless you've changed it on install. You need to locate the TEPS server, the Tivoli Enterprise Portal server. Left click, then right click, Advanced, Edit Trace Params. As you can see at the top of the screen here, we've got Enter RAS1 filters. It's currently set to error. This is set on all default components for ITM and it's purely for error trapping. Now if we wanted to increase the trace level, we could simply add on after the error. This means we're getting our increased levels of tracing, but we're also adding something deeper. So it's open bracket, unit, colon. Now I'm going to put CT-SQL all on. That trace simply looks at all SQL calls that are going through the TEPS so we can see what's happening there. Next section down, if you need to increase the log files for any reason, sometimes depending on the trace level that's being put on, how busy the component is, it can generate a lot of trace. You can see the top line here shows maximum log file size per file is 5 megabytes. This means that every individual log file you have has a maximum size of 5 megabytes before it will need to write to a new one. Next line down says maximum number of log files per session. This also is set to 5. So you have 5 times 5 logs, which is 25 megabytes. If you've got a very busy component, that can wrap very quickly depending on trace level set. You can simply change these so you can increase individual log sizes to maybe 10 megabytes, and maybe you want to increase it to 10 files of 10 megabytes. That'll give you far more trace to capture detailed tracing here. Going down further, you can see maximum number of log files, total 32. This means that ITM will keep 32 log files persistently after restarts, and it will just keep deleting them in that circle. Finally, at the bottom, we've got debug settings. It's very rare you need to put these on. If you do and get a request for support to add debug, you simply drop it down and can select yes, and to turn it back off again, you can take it back to none. So we've set the trace level of this TEPS to error CT-SQL all. I'm going to click OK. This box is important and it gives you a choice here. It says to implement any changes the service must be recycled. Would you like to do that now? The simple question here is, can you recycle the component now? Some production environments obviously can't be recycled during core business hours. If you click yes, the component is recycled now and the trace will come into effect as soon as the component comes back up and starts again. If you click no, like I'll do here, that means that the tracing is set, but the component won't be recycled. So the tracing will only take effect once you restart the component at some point in the future. That's the first way of setting trace. The second way is through editing the environment file. Now the environment file is just a flat text file. There's nothing particularly special about it. So I have totally default installed ITM on here. So to find the environment file, you will do Start, Computer. You'll need to go to your C disk and then it will be default candle home. So it's IBM ITM. Now we're going to look for the TEPS, or in this case it will be the Candle Network Portal Server, the CNPS directory. Next you need to scroll down and you need to find the environment file. Now the environment file for the TEPS is called KFWENV. So it's K, 2-letter product code, environment file. You can open that. As I said, it's just a flat text file. There's nothing particularly special about it, so I'll use Notepad. Now you need to scroll down and look for a particular line. The line we're looking for is KBB underscore RAS1 equals. After the equals, that is the trace level that you have set on your TEPS. Now I'll highlight it here in the video so you can see it. You can see that it's got error and it's also got the unit CTSQL all. So this has verified that the trace we set has been put into the environment file ready for the restart. If you wanted to do this manually, so you didn't want to do it through the GUI, you would come in and the file would look like this. It would just have error. You simply type it in as you would in the GUI. So unit CTSQL all. Once you set the trace you want to, file, save the file to make sure the changes are saved and ready for restart. You can close that file down. Now we've set the trace, I'm going to recycle my TEPS, so I'm going to highlight the Tivoli Enterprise portal server, right click and then select recycle. The TEPS is now restarted, so I want to check the logs to make sure that the trace we've set is actually in place. To do this I'm going to go back to the Candle home directory, so start computer, C, default Candle home is IBM ITM, and then we're going to go to the logs directory. All ITM core component logs are stored in the log directory. Next thing we want to do is sort it by date modified so we get the latest log at the top. We are looking for the 01 log for the TEPS, so the naming convention is hostname _ 2-letter product code for the TEPS. It's CQ when it comes to logging. Then you've got an underscore, timestamp, dash, and 01 is the first log. We've set to 10 logs in the tutorial here, so this will go up to 10. It will then wrap back round. 1 always stays persistent, so it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it needs to write to another file, it will loop back, but it will start at 2 this time and carry on 3, 4, 5, 6. At the very top of each 01 file is something called a RAS1 header. Now this section of the log will tell you all your information from system type, how much memory's in there, what the start time of the component was. The piece of information I'm interested in for this tutorial is the section that says KBB _ RAS1. Now you can see it's got error, unit, CTSQL all. So the changes we've made from error to put the extra level trace in place has taken, and the TEPS is now using that trace. As a quick recap, today we've covered 2 different ways of setting trace in ITM for the TEPS component. You've seen how to increase the log files if you wish to store more information, and I've also showed you how to verify once you've restarted the component that the trace is in place. Thank you for watching this video at the C&SI Monitoring Academy. We'd definitely appreciate your feedback, so please feel free to use the comments box below. We'd also love you to click the thumbs up if you appreciated the video. We have added several helpful links to all our content. I would definitely recommend you check out the blogs on DevWorks. Take care.